talk about.
What must we talk about?
The Game of the Thrones.
Oh.
If she had just finished that workout, she would have had enough points to win.
So what color was your pee?
It's black.
So
Black is my soul? Are you pointing at me and my soul?
Interesting. You think Brent has the capacity to beat Matt?
100%.
Really?
He's proven it.
White Walkers, ridiculous. Let me get on my dragon.
All right.
All right.
Now
Sweet.
onto what we must talk about.
What must we talk about?
The Game of the Thrones.
Oh.
If she had just finished that workout, she would have had enough points to win.
So what color was your pee?
Welcome to Scale as Needed.
Yeah.
That's right. We're here. We're all pissed.
Yeah.
We're all hard.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, something strange here, because I'm always pissed all the time, and
I'm always hard.
Yeah, exactly. So
Maybe
we
our menstrual
cover-
cycles are syncing up at last.
We cover both ends of that, but I think both those things are brand new experiences to Armen.
I
Both
have
never been pissed and never been hard before.
been
Certainly not at the same time.
No.
So, what's going on, Armen? That's
Yeah,
making you
man.
pissed and hard.
Yeah.
Nothing matters, guys.
Now you're learning.
So you finally listened to that Metallica song there? You skipped that one for all this time? Is it just the one? Boom, boom.
Did you know that that was that's actually the that's the song that my mom and I danced to at my wedding?
We discussed it on the
Daniel
this
knows
podcast.
this because he was there. Fuck you guys. You guys weren't there.
There
So
were several things I had to do that week.
you're not allowed to talk about anything you may or may not know about my wedding.
Yeah, no,
because
Kyle
fuck
had to
you
like
guys for
scratch
not
his
being
balls. He
there.
had to
Scratch Cliff's balls.
It takes a period of time.
And within arm distance. You
Yes.
can't, not like one of you can go to the wedding and have the other scratch the other's balls.
This
It
is
doesn't work
correct.
that way.
Although that would have been rather interesting if that did
And
happen, because
scene.
it's one of those things where it's like, what kind of wacky Armenian entertainment is this? Who hired the two Italian men to scratch each other's balls?
All right.
That's actually
Fitness, you guys.
That was actually pretty funny.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening.
Those of you who are watching may notice that there's a very creepy baby doll on the table with us for no reason at all. It was just here when we got here, and we're not going to move it because that's how horror movies start.
Yep.
So this baby will just stay as is, and we're going to pretend like it's not desiring
This is
to murder
Annabelle
us.
Creation 3.
Found footage.
Found footage.
Bad podcast.
What's going to be really
edition.
fun is that later on when we speed up the video version of this podcast, and then the doll just is moving forward.
Yeah.
Just at noticeable increments.
Yeah. If you play the podcast backwards, you can actually hear the baby saying, "You guys suck."
This is boring.
He ain't lying.
So, in the fitness world, guys, honestly, the single most important thing that could possibly have ever happened in the world of fitness, and really in any of our lives, because we're all tangentially related to fitness, is that I got my fucking blue belt last Friday.
Holy shit.
That's right.
Your blue belt in CrossFit?
My blue belt in karate. No, not karate. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Hey, that's one of the belts that
Cool.
matters.
Yeah.
That is...
It's like a real belt.
I am no longer a brand new beginner. I am no longer a noob.
Yes.
I am now just...
This does not bode well, though, for your competitive career, because now you might actually have to compete against people who actually know something about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I can no longer just like brute force my
man.
way against overweight, out of shape dudes.
You cannot just keep forcing yourself on soccer moms over and over again. I'm pretty sure that's how tournaments work, right?
That's how I got my blue belt,
Yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Now, I don't know a whole lot about jiu-jitsu, but I know enough to know that seems pretty fast for a blue belt. Were you did you just really get it by overpowering people with your overwhelming fitness? Is that
No,
really
it's
what
just
got
mostly
you
because he
really
had a
quick to there?
he had a man bun, and so they were just like, he probably knows jiu-jitsu.
Look at his face. That could be a Brazilian face.
Could
maybe.
be a Brazilian face. Look at his fucking face.
They don't even know. They don't even know what an Armenian is here, or certainly not in Brazil.
His name is Paulo now.
Uh-huh.
Paulo. Paulo Silva. Paulo Silva.
Spelled Paulo Silva. Paulo Silva.
Paulo Silva. Armen is now Paulo Silva, which is his that's his jiu-jitsu name. And I
My
got nothing more to
jiu-jitsu
say
name.
about that.
No, please. I do want to hear you say more about it.
About Paulo Silva?
Yeah. Tell me more about Paulo Silva.
Paulo Silva has a kind of medium to low competency in jiu-jitsu. He has 2 different types of hepatitis. I'm not saying which 2, though.
He has
or how
both
he
a
got
lettered
them.
and a numbered hepatitis,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
hard to do.
That's impressive.
Yes, that's right. And he is currently supporting 2 children from 2 different mothers who have 2 different nationalities. But
Paulo.
one is Canadian, which is kind of out of left field. But he does what he can. You know, he doesn't make the payments every month, but he tries. Well, he doesn't try.
Really
He
what
tries to
matters.
try.
That's really
right.
what matters.
Paulo Silva.
It's the effort that you put in.
Yes.
The process. You have to enjoy the process.
Yeah. But that being said, that hasn't stopped him from leaning on a third girlfriend to now support him while he's pursuing his athletic
Professional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu career.
Exactly.
And this one's pygmy, and he really is going to have his fingers crossed. She's pregnant now. Is the baby going to turn out normal height or small height?
Yes.
What's
gonna happen?
Or
Why?
small height. All right. So that conversation went about as well as I expected it to.
Yes.
Let's just move on
He's
from
actually
that.
a pig. It's a pygmy horse. It's a horse, and so he has to wonder if little baby Silva is going to be a Brazilian man, a Brazilian girl, or a horse. We're not sure yet.
And which combination of those things with normal size to pygmy size it will be.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a very stressful time in Paulo Silva's life.
In Paulo Silva's life.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
a good thing that he got his blue belt
Yes.
and can celebrate somehow.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck you guys.
Yep.
Other things.
So that's how the baby got here.
Yeah, so
Baby Silva.
just moving on to things that are more impressive and slightly more important. When's the last time you sat onto an assault bike and did 10 minutes of max calories?
Never.
Yeah.
But why? But why never?
Because that sucks ass. I like to go in short sprints that are followed by long intervals of rest. That's my favorite way to assault bike, and really to attack life in general.
Yeah, I don't
short
think-
bits of effort.
I don't
long
think I've
periods
ever
of rest.
done the assault bike for longer than 20 seconds at a time.
That's about all you need, in my opinion.
Yes, I think so.
So, what would you say is a good amount of calories to achieve? Bless you, on an assault bike in 10 minutes.
Like
what would be
the
solid?
CrossFit Games taught us that you can get, what was it, like 40 calories in 30 seconds or something? What was that one?
Yeah,
guy?
that sounds about right.
Yeah,
sounds
so
about right.
40 times 20 is
Wait, what?
What?
Why are you
well,
multiplying
30
by 20?
seconds.
Oh,
There's
right.
20
That's how
times
math
30
works.
seconds equals the 10 minutes.
Are you going to keep the 30-second sprint pace for all of 10 minutes?
Is it daylight savings
I
time?
assume so. I don't see any physiological reason why not.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so you're
available.
saying 800 calories.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to be really nonplussed.
I'm
by
going
what
1,000.
I'm going to tell
I'm going
you.
1,000
Nice
calories.
even thousand.
I fucking
yeah.
hate you guys so much. You can't even play along with this. Can't even fucking play along with this. All right, you know what? I'm going to keep asking questions.
100
until I
one-armed
figure out
pull-ups.
How? I don't even want to talk about the one. You fuck you guys. This show's over.
Anything under
Where was I?
1,000 calories, I'm
Is
going to be very
incredibly
upset.
unimpressed. Yeah. So when you do sit on an assault bike, fuck you. I'm not getting to the point until I've set it up the way I want to set it up. When you do sit on an assault bike and you assault bike for a short period of time, how many calories are you doing, and in what period of time?
Let's see. If I do like Tabata intervals for like 4 minutes, 20 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I
10
haven't
seconds off.
Sorry. Once,
like,
it's programmed into the thing.
Tabating really
I just do
weird.
what the thing tells me to do. I usually can get. This is back when I was in less well conditioned than I am now, but I couldn't do anything else because my leg was all fucked up. I was getting about 60 or so calories in
4 minutes.
Yeah, in 4 minutes
With
Yeah,
sprint rest.
With sprint
Okay.
rest, sprint rest.
Yeah, higher than that, but not much.
Okay. Do you guys know who Danny Nichols is?
Hold on.
He was in Grid for a while. He
Yeah,
was the
he
guy
was
who
a
like
really,
thrustered
really
a
big
bajillion
guy.
pounds back in like 2012 or 13 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Wait, does he give tickles for Nichols?
He might if you ask him appropriately with the right codes. And so he just put up a picture of his assault bike monitor with the 10-minute max calories, and he got 264,
Jesus Christ.
which would take me an hour
Yeah.
on an assault bike because I would have to stop,
Yeah.
consider my life choices, and then
Yeah.
get back onto it. And then he followed it up with another video of a 30-minute assault bike where he got like over 600, I think, which is again an absurd number.
Yeah. Wait. Sorry. Say that one more time. What was the second one?
Like 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30
like
minutes.
600.
Was this in the same day?
Not the same day, but probably close to one another. So I'm trying to figure out a way to describe just how absurd that type of capacity is, because so 30 minutes he did 632.
Yeah.
Because there used to be this test on the Airdyne before the assault bike was a thing, which was 10 minutes max calories, and 300 was the goal. 300 was like fucking really tough to do, and if you could break 300, it's awesome. But on an assault bike, the assault bike is way stingier with the calories, as we have all experienced.
Yeah.
In fact, when the assault bike first came out, the first version of the monitors were all bugged. So it was even stingier. And I remember...
They have this amazing new innovation in bikes where we make them broken so you feel bad about yourself.
Dude, when I first got an assault bike, I had the original monitor, and I would do 6 calories 1 minute on, 1 minute off, and it would take me 45 seconds to get 6 calories. Like,
wow.
It was that...
That's like really stingy.
Bad. It was
I
I remember thinking to myself, how the fuck does anybody ever exercise with this? Like, what is the scale?
That's
that
like
you
way
use?
off. Well, at least way off relative to where they are now. Because I get on an assault bike, every time I go to the gym, and that's like I walk into the gym, I put my water bottle down, I put my towel down, I'm completely cold, and how do I get the blood flowing? Is I hop on and I do about 20 calories in about 30 something seconds,
right?
And so the idea of 45 seconds for 6 calories seems wildly off.
It was disheartening.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I would do workouts with like alternating on the assault bike and in like the alternating minutes on the assault bike, and the minutes where I was on the bike, if I could get past like 5, 6, maybe 7, it would be like, oh fuck, this workout's over for me, because that was too much power output and I'm not going to be able to recover. But
so they fixed that.
They fixed that. So, but still, even still, the assault bike is much stingier than an Airdyne, to the point where like usually the conversion is like add a third or add half more.
Wait, does this just mean that like all of the calorie estimates on all of these different devices are just completely arbitrary?
I don't think so.
But doesn't it tell you how many calories you are burning? So you can calculate that into your fat loss for the week?
One can of Coke is is how many minutes on the assault bike?
I'm not 100% sure. Alex Viato, have we talked about Alex Viato?
Which one is he?
The guy who owns Complete Human Performance. He's like squats 700 and runs like a 4.5 mile.
Yes.
And does like ultra marathons and stuff.
Wait, weren't you doing his programming for a
I
while?
was doing his programming leading up into the triathlon. His company had some coaches that were programming for me. But
you know who else was doing his programming? Paulo Silva.
Paulo Silva. He earned his blue belt, I hear, based off of that programming. So, he put up this post on Facebook. I forget. It's somewhere in his history. But he basically threw out like, here's the levels of accuracy when measuring caloric burn. The worst were things like like a heart rate monitor to try and turn that into caloric burn. But the best were things like an erg, like a rower or a bike, because I think that's more of an actual power output measurement. But I don't know why there's a difference between something like the Airdyne and the assault bike. I don't know why that would be a difference.
No idea.
But
it's all black magic to me.
Yeah, there's something happens in the circuit boards.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter because I don't compare my times to anyone else. So long as it's consistent day to day for me personally, then you could actually change the weights of all the bumper plates. It really wouldn't matter, you know.
Or alternatively, you could just skip cardio altogether and just focus on upper pec development.
Yes,
That's
is
true.
true. This is good. How much is that? How many calories does that take? Or how does that translate?
It's infinite.
Infinite.
It's an infinite amount of calories.
Yes. How many calories are in one upper pec? We would have to burn it to find out.
You would.
That's
Calorimeter,
the-
Tomorrow on Mythbusters.
That's what I did. That's what I did last night. A little garage sesh with
Yeah.
Giannis.
Nice.
We did some axle bench press,
Nice.
axle curls.
It's funny. I ran into Giannis while I would say,
It was
I ran
legit.
I ran into Giannis on the way out of the gym, and he said, and I was like, it was funny because it was just one of those like 80-degree November days. It was about 2 or 3 days ago. I was like, "How are you enjoying this winter weather, Giannis?" And he goes, "You mean German summer?" I'm like, "Yes."
Yes, the weather here is very weird right now, and it continues to feel weird.
Yeah, gray and warm and humid and just gross.
It's just odd.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
understand it.
It's gonna get cool again Saturday. This is great content. by the
Although
way,
I
that
do
we're getting.
prefer it better. See, there's a lot of people who are listening to this right now who are in like the beginning
Winter
of
places.
winter. Yeah,
Yes.
and they're cold, and luckily for them, they get to work out in sweatpants, which is fucking awesome.
Yes, they're
I'm
drinking
super
pumpkin
jealous.
spice lattes and enjoying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of
We
people.
yeah.
A lot of people
That's the
experience
critical
winter.
mistake in that sentence.
we're just enjoying some weird summer weather
Yeah.
right in the middle of November.
Yeah, it's pretty normal for Texas.
Yeah.
But I think we skipped over the main point. It's a garage workout, meaning your garage.
My garage.
But amongst your very limited set of garage equipment, you have an
6
axle
kettlebells.
bar.
I do.
Or sorry,
An axle
well,
bar.
sorry.
I have an axle bar.
Oh, that's really
yeah.
one?
Well,
I
that-
wasn't
no.
joking.
Oh,
We
I
did
thought it was a
axle
joke.
bar bench press and
Oh.
axle
Yeah,
bar
that's what I was trying to
curls.
see if
That
it
was
was a joke
our
or not.
workout.
Sweet.
It's like how much money are you burning on random shit, or did you get it for free?
You know that I used to own my own gym, right?
This is true.
And
Oh, uh-huh.
when my brother
A story we keep alluding to every season, but never telling in full.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, we'll get there.
the writers haven't quite figured out the background of that yet. So either way, my brother and I used to own a gym, and when I left, he continued running it, but he shut it down earlier this year. And when he shut it down, I basically sent him a list of all the equipment that I wanted, and then I flew Katie out. Katie rented a truck and drove it back.
Cool.
was
She
great.
did that for you? You made her do that for you?
It was the final test.
Except it was Katie, so she pulled it with
Before-
the bicycle the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Like she drove like 2 days straight to get back. It was really brutal.
Again,
actually.
why
I
did you
feel
make
terrible.
her do this?
I don't know. I think I was busy.
It's like
I was out of town.
big truck,
traveling.
stuff
big
to
truck,
do.
rural highways by herself. She'll be fine. She'll be.
She had
totally fine.
one of her friends came with her.
Okay, good.
Wait, what,
Either way,
what
she crushed
days
it.
were this
Yes.
there? What
I don't
days were
fucking
this?
remember. Like, I don't
was-
think. I don't know. I think I was in.
Completely coincidentally, this is the same period of time in which Paulo Silva smuggled his baby mom out of the country.
Exactly,
so-
because I helped him with that. But I'm wondering, are those the same 2 days that Katie was driving? Was Katie driving those 2 days that we were helping you smuggle your
Not
illegal
me.
alien girlfriend's
Yes.
Paulo
third baby
Silva.
mama
Paulo
into?
Silva.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
and undergoing a really, really harsh round of antibiotics for his 2 kinds of hepatitis. Let's not forget about that, everybody.
both lettered and numbered.
Yes.
One of them's progressed to a symbol.
That's right.
Right.
That was
I have-
pretty good.
Thanks, Chase. We should actually get you a tiny little drum set that you can do like just a drum set this big that
And-
Chase can do ta ta.
Yes, and some just big Paul, whatever his fucking name is, sunglasses that he just wears all the time.
That would be
And then he-
that would be fucking fantastic.
In order to pull that off, though, Chase has to change his entire facial hair and head hair arrangement. He needs to shave off the beard and all the hair on the head in order to make those glasses work
Yes.
in that role.
That's a big commitment.
I know.
Listen,
All right,
it'll
I'll do
work.
it tomorrow.
there it is.
Tiny
This is
drum kit.
entirely
It's
$9.
It's only $9 we're getting
$9.
this.
We can make this happen.
It just needs its
Tiny
own
drum
microphone.
Dude, that's fucking fantastic. All right. We may actually have that for Chase in the near future. So
I just like looking at it.
excited for that.
I've never seen nor heard of a novelty desktop drum set before. Had any of you guys seen or heard of any such thing?
I've seen such a thing.
I don't know if I'd ever seen it, but I
now
just
have it.
knew it had to exist.
Is there anything you could type into Google that you wouldn't find? Any object
Well,
or product?
I don't think so. A plumbus.
No,
that
they have
definitely
to have
is
made
the
a
thing.
plumbus at this point. Here.
Someone
yeah.
has 3D printed the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Shoulder pad, football shoulder pads in infant size.
Let's find out. On today's episode of Does It Exist? Infant-sized football shoulder pads.
Oh,
Don't know how to
shit.
spell shoulder.
That's okay. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
Is that-
youth football uniform?
It's a youth
dress
football
up.
uniform. That's not infant size.
Come on now.
A large infant could use that.
Yeah, it depends on the infant. You guys probably would have fit into it as infants.
Yes, you know whose infant would fit in there? Paulo Silva.
Paulo
He's a
Silva.
very large baby.
Yeah.
Guys, you can buy plumbuses. Just
Yeah.
What are they
get
made
one.
out of? What would a plumbus
I hope
be made
silicone and very, very fleshy like.
out of? Yeah,
That
like
would-
flesh tones and silicone.
yes.
Anyway, so speaking of places where you get to work out in sweats, lucky them. There's a small town in Tennessee called Chase. How's it pronounced? Cayukiville. Cayukiville.
that's
Cu-
proper English.
I get it. I get where you're
Cookville?
going. Just move on.
Anyway, Cookville.
Cookville.
So in Cookville, Tennessee, home to Rich Froning and Matt Frazier now.
Yes.
We have a just a quantum meeting of fitness,
There is a surplus of
a
fit people
singularity,
Yes.
if
in
you will.
Cookville, Tennessee.
And could you go to Matt Frazier's Instagram? I don't know if you guys did you see this picture. He's been spending a lot of time hanging out with Rich. Understandably, they're right next door to each other,
Yes, I
and
did see this picture last
they both
week,
like to
yes.
work out.
If it is the picture that I think it is.
And there was a photo of going to
Yes.
scroll down. We're
Uh-huh,
looking
uh-huh.
for that
There it
photo
is.
on the right. Yep.
There you go.
The other
The
right.
other right.
There you go.
Well,
And it's a picture of
Yep.
Jason
Look at
Khalipa,
that.
Matt Frazier, and Rich Froning
And a
in the
tiny,
barn.
tiny Matt Frazier.
Yeah.
Tiny Frazier.
A gigantic Jason Khalipa,
He's standing on at least 4 plates.
a tiny Matt Frazier, and an aesthetically pleasing Rich Froning.
Uh-huh.
And this picture made me feel some stuff, guys.
Yeah. In your dick?
Not in the gay way. Not in like an I want their bodies way.
Yeah.
Weird.
But I don't know.
Listen,
whatever.
you let it slip last time after you hit your head.
Freudian
We know
slip.
what's going on.
I just felt things. By the way, did you see the mark?
Yes. Oh, is it really?
There
Oh,
was a
you
legit
have a
mark
Ah,
on my
Oh.
head for an entire week from smashing my head into the microphone.
awesome.
But yeah,
Fought
there's
so hard.
there's something about this picture. There's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just the collection of experience in this picture
Yes.
is kind of crazy.
Of fitness experience,
Yeah.
sexual experience, of
Look so
experience
thick.
working with
Mainly
power tools.
fitness, although
Yes.
they probably do have more experience working the power tools.
Certainly
me
than
as
us.
Well, but I don't particularly care
Yes.
about that. little
All I can
factoid.
gather from this is that clearly looking at the hair patterns on all of them, Rich Froning must have shaved his chest and glued it onto his face.
Yes.
That's the only logical inference I can draw.
Just
from
like one
that.
of those little magnet things where you drag the hair around the face of the person. Yes.
It looks like Rich Froning shaved his chest immediately before this photo
Oh, yes,
was
yes.
taken.
Rich Froning kind of looks like Superman. Jason Khalipa kind of looks like a sad giant from
He
a
is
fairy
so
tale.
thick.
Yes,
Like
and
that's
then
4 C's worth of thickness.
and then Matt Frazier Matt Frazier just looks like Tom Thumb. He looks like a little guy. He's just a little guy in there.
Well, he is in his off season,
Yep.
so he's starting to tighten it up.
He'll be taller come competition.
Yeah, he shortens himself.
Yep.
It takes a little too much energy to be tall
Yep.
during the season, so he likes to shorten up during the off season.
Conserve energy.
Yeah, conserve energy by becoming smaller.
Nice. I would do that if I could.
Jason Khalipa looking like just a gorilla at all times. Just gigantic arms.
Looks like
His arms are literally the size of Matt Frazier's head.
he looks like the bear Jew.
Yeah.
Looks like a mythological golem.
Yeah, I believe there are people still running from him in his labyrinth, so he needs to be very careful. He's a minotaur. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
He
so
looks like he's about to fight Beowulf to death in a grappling match.
Yeah, actually, I think I've seen Jason Kalipa in this picture before because he is painted on the sides of ancient Greek vases.
Dear God. This has gotten deeply weird.
No,
I believe
we should keep going.
he looks like he's about to strap on the rest of his gear and go terrorize a bunch of teenagers at Camp Crystal Lake.
I think there's a BMX tournament happening on his pecs right now.
You lose.
Damn it! Take a sharp right there and see what happens. Anyway, so
Which
they are-
Jason would Jason Kalipa be? From which movie? I think part 3. I think that's the part 3
He's
Jason
too
Voorhees.
beefy though, because he's got that.
No, part 3 was the beefy one.
He was
Remember?
starting to get beefy in part 3, but he got like then later on he was like super fucking huge in the
Then he
later
shrunk
films.
down.
Like the Kane Hodder version is just fucking jacked as shit. So, but he was, you know. Yeah.
I've never seen any of the Jason movies.
Are you
That's
fucking nuts?
Machete at the Lake. Is that
Yes.
Jason?
Oh
Okay.
my
yeah,
God.
with the
Cool.
hockey
Son of
mask.
a bitch.
Jesus Christ. There
That's
was-
what we need to fucking watch, man.
that could be a fun ass
Yeah.
marathon. Tough without alcohol, but we can try.
No, we don't marathon it. We watch one a week for
Yeah?
7
That's
to
true.
10
I
weeks.
could see
It's
myself
like
doing
a
that.
fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Why would
No,
I
it
want to do
sounds
that?
great
Yep.
because they're all amazing and fuck you. That's why.
Yeah, I know. Because here,
What the fuck? You're being actually positive about a movie, and not just any movie, but Jason.
Friday
the
the
Jason
13th?
series.
Are you kidding?
So yes,
That's
Yeah,
it's fucking fantastic.
Here,
It's
by
all-
the way, I probably mentioned this on the podcast before, but I remember we were so into both Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street that I got the query once, who killed more people? Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees, and then I counted in my head because I could at that point recall in memory every
Yep.
single kill from every single one of those movies.
Yep.
Count them up real quick. Oh yeah, Jason clearly it's like
Yeah,
3-1 there.
Yeah.
But I literally could remember just easy memory recall every single kill in every single one of both of those series.
Yes,
I've seen one Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the very first one,
which is great.
which is very good.
Yes.
I've seen none of the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
What's there's another one. What's
Halloween.
the other?
Well, I mean, there's
I've
Halloween,
seen,
but
I haven't
the
seen
thing
any
is,
of the Halloween.
way,
movies.
Halloween has like one or two. Like the first movie's great, and then pretty much everything else after that is just nutty. And like part 3 is good, doesn't have Michael Myers in it at all, and a bunch of shit. But you don't really need to see there's not really like this Halloween like canon anymore. 'Cause there's a bunch of crap. But I mean, like I'd say Friday the 13th part 1 through 8, or actually really 1 through 9, are definitely worth seeing. And then
through 9.
yeah.
Also,
there's
Freddy
plenty more
versus-
than
Dude,
that.
Freddy
I don't
versus
even like
Jason is
watching
really great.
9 episodes of a TV show.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to sit and watch them all at once. If you did, it would be awesome. But I'm just saying that Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is an awesome series.
I'm just so shocked that
Yeah.
we have talked about a lot of movies. and
He's
you
wearing
have-
a Maniac Cop 2
you have-
shirt
you have
right
shi-
now.
That's a
Like,
real movie?
Yes!
You fucking where the
What
fuck
are you talking about? Look at it. His shirt looks like
Yes.
a fucking fake thing. It's like a comic
The
book.
most-
That's
the-
a real. Of course
Yeah,
it's a real
oh my
movie.
God.
I saw this.
Armen.
One of my highlights from Fantastic Fest was seeing a glorious print from the director of this with the writer and one of the actresses there in person. That was one of the best movie experiences I can recall that I'll take to my grave.
What the hell is Maniac Cop?
It's good.
Maniac Cop 2.
Maniac
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We
There's a
don't
big
talk about the
difference.
first one.
Part 1 is okay, but Maniac Cop 2 is
Maniac
the
Cop
one to
2 is a
see.
lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just to not get too far off topic here, Friday the 13th, all of the Friday.
Didn't he go to space in one of them?
Yeah.
Jason
Jason
X, which was the 10th one. Not really worth seeing. That
It's sort of worth seeing. The first half is good. Actually, ironically, the first half is spent not in space. Then when he gets to space, it actually gets kind of boring.
Well, it's a lot like Jason Takes Manhattan, where
Oh,
it's on a
yes.
boat for 90% of it,
Uh-huh.
and then they get to Manhattan for the last 10 minutes of the movie. But again, you need to fucking.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yes, it's part
You
of
bet.
Draft.
So
Yeah, yeah.
fucking
Uh-huh.
stupid.
Uh,
Sounds so
I
stupid.
mean, you're not wrong about that, but it doesn't mean that it's not a fucking fantastic
But
time watching all
it
these
is
movies.
semi-false marketing because it's mainly Jason Jason takes a boat to Manhattan, and then just the last act is in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no, they focus grouped that one. It was just too weird of a title.
Plus, they didn't actually shoot it in Manhattan. I think it was in fucking Toronto or whatever.
yeah.
They got some skylines for
Yeah.
B-roll,
But it's interesting because every one of them tells an interesting story of their productions and the times they came out by watching by just watching the whole like canon of films together. Because really, with Friday the 13th, everyone knows this, but like he doesn't even get the hockey mask until the third film in. Jason isn't even in the first film except for the very end. It's this whole interesting development that has highs and lows that in every film is different. It's kind of like the Mission Impossible movies these days. They bear no relationship to each other, but each one is a unique entity, a unique specimen unto itself.
And it has the greatest killing spree in slasher movie history. Why? Because parts 2, 3, and 4 all take place within a few days of each other. It's literally a matter of part 2 ends, part 3 picks up the next day, where you think Jason is dead or whatever, and then he just fucking wakes back up. And so parts 2, 3, and 4, even though Jason looks radically different in all of them, played by different actors, completely different build, all that stuff, it's one continuous killing spree over the course of 4 days. And the fun thing is that in part 3 and then in part 4, you have a fresh crop of kids or whomever going down to the lake who apparently are unaware that over the last 2 days there's been a killing spree going on.
Just stepping over the bodies.
Information traveled slower back then. But part 3 is amazing. Part 4, however, is really fucking good. Part 4 was, is Friday the 13th, the final chapter, because it was intended to be at the time like an ending to the series, because you can't go beyond 4. And starring,
that would be silly.
Starring Corey Feldman as Tommy in that film, and it's just a really good movie. Tom Savini, who did the special effects for the original, returns in part 4. Just really fucking good, amazing creative kills, a cool story. And then part 5 is not as good. Part 5 is like, well, we killed him in the last one, so they go off on a whole variation in part 5. Not the best. But then part 6 is where the thing kind of the fully formed what the series would become after that Jason Lives is what it's called. Where like literally the opening sequence is like, they're like, sorry about part 5. So it literally involves like lightning striking Jason's grave, him sitting up out of his grave and being like, I'm back. And they even do, and that's when it kind of jumps.
And it has that's where they just went full on crazy there, where it had basically a James Bond ripoff beginning. You know, James Bond, the title sequence, he walks, teeny James Bond walking across the screen, and then he turns towards your gun barrel and the blood.
Do the
same thing with Jason, except walks, slashes the screen, blood comes down, machete. Yes.
It's great.
So there, it's like, yeah, fuck it. Because before they were trying to sustain it, where he's a real guy who just, they didn't finally kill him. He just kind of.
Then part 7 is basically Jason versus Carrie, which,
Carrie,
it's like a girl with telekinetic powers.
Yeah, Carrie analog, more or less.
And then part 8 is Jason Takes Manhattan. Again, not great. And then
there he goes. And ready?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wow.
What?
Boom.
Slash. Boom.
Yeah.
Blood spraying at the screen. Yeah.
Jason lives.
That's good. And then part 9 is Jason Goes to Hell, and that's pretty good. That was when, again, like I think the commercial and the cultural kind of stock that the film had built up as originally kind of a cult thing, and everything had built to the point where there was an actual like big studio release, like ads in the paper. I remember Jason Goes to Hell. This is going to be the final thing, and Jason Goes to Hell famously ends with Jason's mask laying on the ground, and then Freddy Krueger's glove bursts out of the ground, grabs Jason's mask, and rips it under the ground as a teaser for the forthcoming Freddy vs. Jason movie. But the Freddy vs. Jason movie would not arrive for like another decade after that. How long was it? I wonder.
At least 10 years there, maybe even close to 15 years. Yeah.
Which in Jason, and I am actually a big Freddy vs. Jason fan.
Oh yeah, exactly. I enjoy the hell out of
Freddy
that.
vs. Jason was 2003.
Yeah. So anyway, and then, but that being said, the Friday the 13th, I have a tremendous affinity for all of those films. But I think Nightmare on Elm Street is a superior series overall. I mean, great first film, weird as fuck second film, but then for Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors is one of the best horror movies ever. One of my favorite films from my childhood growing up. Written by Frank Darabont of Shawshank Redemption
really?
and all of that. Yeah. This was one of his first, and the screenplay is amazing. Dream Warriors is fucking fantastic.
It's almost not even really a horror movie.
Yeah,
it's almost
like a
fantasy action movie.
Yeah.
It's almost fantasy action superhero.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff now, like a lot of like superhero, like it's like a bunch of kids with interesting dream powers all locked in an asylum. Like when I saw like the trailer for like the New Mutants, that new thing that Fox is doing with like X-Men and everything, I was like, oh, this is kind of like Dream Warriors, is what it felt like to me. But it's just really fucking good. 4 was directed by Rennie Harlan, I think, right?
Yeah,
of,
I
Die
think
Hard.
so.
Yeah, or was it 5? I don't remember.
No.
Those
Part 5 was the. Part 5 is for the Dream Child is for whatever reason disliked by people. But that's one where I really feel they nailed the scary dream world there. 5 is for me just the scariest vision of a dream world. The comic book little thing notwithstanding, that's pretty cheesy, but just genuinely horrifying atmosphere with her, the nun being raped by 100 maniacs and the crazy evil baby coming out. That's yeah. They all have their the pluses and minuses.
Yeah,
but,
and then of course they decided to end it again.
So
then they decided to end it again with parts, with like not end it again, but end it in the same way they did with Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Part 6 was Freddy's dead, and then they killed him. That's an okay movie, but then they brought back, and here's what, and this is so Wes Craven returns to the series for Part 7, which was the new Nightmare, which is a really interesting film because it basically.
It's meta, as they say these days.
Pre-Scream, right?
You're right around the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying. Which came out first?
What?
But anyway, it's
this came before Scream,
bizarre,
like about a year.
This bizarre exercise in the same kind of meta horror that would exist in Scream, but it's actually literally part of the concept, wherein it's set in the world where Freddy Krueger movies exist, and where Freddy Krueger like jumps out of that world and begins terrorizing the actress who played Nancy in the first and third film, begins terrorizing Wes Craven and terrorizing the people.
So yeah,
who
Wes Craven, played by Wes Craven, is a character. The actress Heather Langenkamp, who plays Nancy, is a character playing herself, getting terrorized by a version of Freddy Krueger that actually hops out of the movie.
It's also fucking good, and you haven't seen any of it, you little
No.
bitch. Fucking bitch. Dude, fucking bitch.
Honestly,
you
I don't understand. I don't understand how you could like literally shit on movies like Arrival or Sicario, and then turn around and be like, you know what though? I'm gonna suck Freddy's dick right now.
Because, and I'll tell
this movie was awesome.
I have a very straightforward answer to that question, which is part of the reason I love horror movies, and part of the reason I love any movie that I love is part of the same reason I love, extreme metal music and other things like that, is that there is an honesty and a passion behind those, even if they're made for completely kind of mercenary reasons, which is we got to make, we're trying to turn a little bit of coin here. These are people making films that are trying to make the best films they can under those circumstances and have no pretensions generally about doing anything other than delivering the goods. It's like delivering the goods, entertaining an audience, making the coolest version, the coolest variation on that idea that they can, creating the most interesting kills, creating suspense, creating horror. And there's an honesty there that I think is very refreshing, especially relative to many films that I don't like that have, I feel are innately dishonest, that especially films with certain artistic pretensions,
like
that I
Oscar
feel
bait.
Like Oscar bait films, but even honestly, I think a lot of films that are often lauded by film critics and film fans. I mean, even certain films by, like, for instance, I think that Blade Runner 2049 is not only a non-functional film and that it delivers nothing to no one, but I feel that it's simultaneously also kind of a dishonest film, because it's a filmmaker who's curious about the effect that this will have on your impression of him as a director, more so than the effect it will have on you as your experience as a viewer watching the film.
Yeah, exactly. They're the films, those kinds of films, like Blade Runner 2049 or even Dunkirk being even a more extreme example.
Dunkirk being the arch
extreme example. They're movies that no one actually likes. Literally no human being on Earth actually enjoys watching it. It exists only so that dumb people can feel smart by saying that they like them, basically, which I got a lot of in film school. Oh, man, a lot of it in film school.
Yeah.
People talking about how much they liked unwatchable films because they thought that made them seem smart by saying that they did so.
Yeah.
And basically what I want to do to those people is hit them with an axe in the head like Jason's mother did in Friday the 13th Part 1 there.
Yeah.
Axe right to the face of someone saying that.
Yes.
Which is a much more honest expression of cinema.
But that's the thing, is I would argue that, that objectively speaking, Friday the 13th Part 3 is a better film, objectively, if there's a way to quantify it in its entirety, than Blade Runner 2049, because it knows what it's trying to achieve, it achieves what it's trying to achieve, and it is effective, and it is a wonderful experience for the viewer.
I saw that in the fucking theater, in 3D. It's
with 3D glasses.
and the fucking audience was loving it. People who've never seen it before, they're not watching it for ironic reasons. It's generally a romp there.
Yes.
Whereas I don't think anyone really enjoyed watching Blade Runner 2049. Overhearing even people talking about it elsewhere, it's like, oh yeah, it looked really pretty. And I was trying to confuse.
That's a
about
great
the
Armen.
thing. And yeah. No one could have enjoyed watching that. And now, actually, I'm shitting perhaps too hard on Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah,
because
maybe a little bit.
It's not. It's. Let's use Dunkirk. We should be shitting on Dunkirk.
Dunkirk is a way better example than Blade Runner.
Yes. Even though Blade Runner 2049 still sucks big fat donkey dick. So let's not cut it too much slack here.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I like the one evil girl. She's fun. I enjoyed her.
Yeah, she was cool.
You guys are
Big fat donkey dick.
You guys are just contrarians.
That is not
That's
true.
fine.
I like
That's
shit
okay.
that people like.
That's okay.
I like
it's
shit
okay
that people
to do
like.
that.
If I was a contrarian,
It's
why
fine.
would I love Spider-Man Homecoming so goddamn
Never
much?
even seen it.
It's really good.
Why didn't you see it, Armen?
Here you are
I don't know.
seeing things like Blade Runner 2049. You're not seeing in things like Friday the 13th Part 3 and Spider-Man Homecoming.
You know
Why are
what
not
Armen
doing
is? Armen's an elitist.
Yeah.
Armen is an elitist.
Yeah. Give me like floaty synth soundtracks and long, slow takes where nothing happens. And
Big floppy donkey dick.
confusing storylines which mishmash and ask unanswerable questions. Give me those things. Make me feel like you're saying something interesting, even if you're not.
Like Prometheus. God,
Fuck
woof.
Prometheus.
It's just like Prometheus.
Don't even.
We can all come together on that.
Yes,
Let's
it's
not
basically the
even
same thing.
get ahead of ourselves.
And
here.
really, I mean-
Prometheus was a garbage fire.
As was 2049.
And Paul Gandersman.
is
You
an
can
asshole.
email him paul.gandersman@flowsports.tv.
No, Paul. No, sorry, I wasn't stopping you
And
from that. I
tell
was saying
him-
that Paul is a good example
Tell
of a
him that
contrarian.
Prometheus sucks
Paul
because he thinks Prometheus is good.
Paul liked Jurassic World.
Yeah, I was going to say, Paul and I have argued for, I think, over an hour on Jurassic World. And his whole thing is, I mean, dude, just like turn your brain off. It's fine. When he would never say that about any other fucking movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah, fair enough.
Paulo Silva. Fitness, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really.
So that's
ran
the new
full
plan.
gamut
We're going to
there.
start with Friday the 13th,
I don't wanna
part
do
one.
that.
You're going to love it.
Ooh,
You're
should
going
we
to love it.
alternate Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street?
No,
Jesus,
we
that
got to
would
do
take
one. We got to do
forever.
one and then the other. You know how?
I don't
Why?
want to do
Why
this.
are you
Because this is
scared
actually
of
something
the
I've been
violence,
wanting to do
Armen?
for a while, and this is a really good reason to do
Are you scared of the blood and the violence, Armen? Are you worried?
First of all, I scare easy. And that has nothing to do with anything.
I'm sure it
Not
doesn't.
not at all with this decision. Second of all, I'm definitely not going to be able to watch it with Katie. Katie can't do horror movies.
Here's the thing.
And I'm not going to watch it alone.
Here's
because
why
that's terrifying.
Here's why Friday the
So-
13th is better. Friday the 13th movies aren't really scary. Nightmare on Elm Street movies can be really scary. Friday the 13th, it's not about scary exactly. It's about seeing tits and seeing bloody, gory kills
Yeah.
and waiting until each of those things happen.
Yeah.
You're counting the time the whole way until you see a goofy, gory kill or titties. And it happens at a pretty regular clip, and you can judge the goodness or badness of a Friday the 13th movie based on how long has it been since titties or kill. Titties or kill. Wait, and it's been 5 whole minutes. No titties, no
This
kill.
is actually what Cliff wakes up every morning, like whispering to himself, "Titties or kill.
Titties or kill.
That is not surprising, but disturbing still, nonetheless.
God.
So anyway, the Friday the 13th movies for the most part are not actually scary.
Can we do like
They're
Harry
just
Potter or
fun.
something? There are 8 of
We've all
those.
seen them.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Speaking of dishonest money grabs,
Yeah. Do you guys know that Batman versus Super? No. Justice League. There
Comes
we
out
go.
tomorrow, yeah.
It comes out.
Oh shit! Really?
This
I didn't
weekend,
even know
yeah.
that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
Oh,
within
yeah.
24 hours, we could watch it if
Is that
any
a
of
bad
us actually
sign
gave
for
a
the
shit.
film that I didn't know that was coming out tomorrow?
yes, it is.
Yeah,
Still
I'm
gonna
not
make $1
sure.
billion.
I'm not sure. I might try and sneak away this weekend. I'll be in Dallas. I might try and sneak out and catch it.
I think this may be. So I told
be
this to you, Armen,
interesting.
but I didn't tell this to Cliff and Kyle. This might be my inaugural Movie Pass movie.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
I got that Movie Pass, guys. $10 a month. And
What?
I can see a bunch of movies that I don't really want to pay for.
What's a movie pass?
It's like a subscription service to go to movie theaters.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
you pay $10 a month.
It's pretty
and
fascinating.
You can see a movie a day on
Interesting
it.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely watch more movies than $10 a month worth. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see about that much at the theater. I see
Legit.
about $10 a month.
legit. Okay, so you're telling me I need to watch Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Yes.
Mhm.
and
It's very good.
baby, careful.
I think that's something we've said since like whenever it came
When
out.
it came
We've
out
been
this
telling
summer,
you
yes.
every week.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bumps.
No. And then I watched the first couple episodes of Stranger Things.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Did we watch any of it?
I did binge the whole thing there. I did watch all of it.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. It's good. It's fine.
Okay. Well, that's the consensus on
I
it.
want
I
to do
guess.
some more fitness
Yeah.
talk. I have a
Hey.
fitness thing.
Whoa, Daniel has a
Fitness.
fitness.
Daniel is
I have
fitness.
a
We
fitness thing.
can't
We
stop
watched-
the
I watched
show
this with you
because
the other
Kai.
But
Yeah.
We just have to
feel
keep broadcasting.
Oh,
everyone saw
Jesus.
this
We
already,
didn't
right?
even talk about
yeah,
this.
this is a thing we must talk about.
What is this? What is this?
Donald Trump Jr. survived a PR deadlift attempt, guys.
Oh.
And
Hot takes.
if you have not seen it,
was that,
be prepared.
405?
Nope, 375. Be prepared to watch a man just deadlift with awful form.
all back. That was all back.
all
Yeah.
back, all day.
Yeah, I wish we could hear
He
it
needs to
too.
get that butt a little bit lower
I
there.
wish we could hear it too because he has like he grunts the way that you would imagine he would be grunting.
As he ripped his back apart.
Music is still
Yep, our music's still playing in the background. So either way, it is really. It has caused some conversations on our page
Yeah?
after
Yeah,
we
just a little
wrote
bit.
about this.
Not
It was all about
political,
deadlift form,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
political.
No,
well,
there,
obviously.
it was all like complimentary things about how good of a PR 375 is for an adult man, not a middle schooler.
Chase is savage.
Which honestly
like
is probably this is another thing. Let's point this out. Just aside some, it's probably a healthier attitude to have about his 375-pound deadlift in the world than the attitude that exists in this room, which is an attitude that's going to get us all into early graves and wheelchairs. We're like 375, what a bitch. It's like for regular people, that's fine. That's enough. You don't need to pull more than that, and yet
you do need to pull better than that.
you
though.
need to pull better
you may
than
not
that.
be
Ken.
able to put, you may not need to pull more, but you certainly need to pull better.
Here's my thing: is I can pull that and better, and I feel very good about myself
should.
because of that.
Yeah,
You should.
My
Chase.
my personal favorite comment from all of these, and there's a lot.
I have one, but go ahead.
which is why is your phone case pink?
That's a good point. Look at this. I watched
it's
it.
very
That's
pretty.
what happened.
He washed it with a red hat.
Yeah, so this person, we won't shout him out, but turned socks inside out, machine wash on gentle cycle and warm, use mild soap and non-chlorine bleach, tumble dry on low setting. That person was just giving him genuine advice on what to do with his PR socks there in the video.
Oh, socks. I get it.
Because look how grody those things look.
That's interesting.
Why is someone with that type of wealth wearing
true.
those types of socks?
Listen,
Wow. That is an interesting favorite comment. My favorite comment was someone called us a bunch of bandwagoners for calling him out on poor deadlift form, and that we wouldn't have called out
Just no knees.
Chelsea Clinton if she deadlifted 375. And my response to that was, because that would be fucking impressive.
That
It
would
would
be
be.
super impressive.
We would mostly be super impressed with
that
Chelsea
would be
Clinton's
very
deadlift.
impressive.
Like,
if
wow.
Watching a woman deadlift 375 pounds.
Yeah.
But either way, that did happen. Donald
know.
Trump did that, and
Yeah.
or Don, I'm sorry, Donald Trump Jr.
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 But
did
here's
that.
what's the
Well,
only
we
thing
all
that's
know
offensive
what
to
kind
me.
of amazing physical specimen the president
Yeah.
Well,
is.
Trump himself clearly has at least a 600-pound deadlift.
At least.
Yeah.
I do
gonna be
kind
huge.
of wish that his coach had not allowed him to do that, though.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is okay, he's pulling like that's all hips, no knees at all. That's all QI strain going on there.
Yeah.
And then he posted it to social media. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever filmed yourself doing a lift and you're like, I got it, and then you look at the lift and you go, oof, and you immediately delete the video.
Yeah,
You know?
So
And
actually,
it's like
really,
I don't want anyone to know that I do that with my knees or my
and
hips.
this is for all the Alex Jones types out there. Maybe the coach was doing this on purpose, hoping he would injure himself. Or really, really happy that he has terrible form, so he could post it on social media and embarrass himself.
His coach is one of the
Connect
young
the dots,
Turks.
people. Connect the dots.
Illuminati.
His coach works for the Huffington Post.
Those cucks at the New York Times.
That's right.
So Donald Trump Jr.'s coach is a time-traveling interdimensional alien sent here to destroy the Trump family from the inside
Yeah.
Yeah.
via CrossFit.
Starting with his back.
conspiracy.
Poor CrossFit.
Wow.
His
Well,
name is
first.
Greg Glassman.
It works.
He's
I
an
guess.
alien
I
child
don't know.
molester.
Either way, I mean,
Speaking
congrats
of
on
girls
the deadlift.
deadlifting things, relating back to the Chelsea Clinton thing or whatever, Steffi Cohen put up like a crazy world record total. I think she only deadlifted 495. I think so. It was not her previous
like 5'10".
Yeah,
or
I've seen
5'25",
her
whatever it
do
was.
like I saw her do, and this was with not touch and go, but with like do a set of 5 reps at 500 on the deadlift, which is at 123 pound body weight and hot. That's not relevant. That's not relevant, Kyle. But then she back squatted. What was it? It was like 400, over 400.
Yeah, she's definitely squatting.
Back
over
squatted
400.
over 400. So
The video that you sent us,
Yeah.
you sent us a video where she's talking about like why slow squatting is more important than fast squatting, and in that video she's squatting 375 for like 55 times. I don't even know. She just doesn't
Several
stop
times,
squatting it the entire time.
yeah.
It's like slow, controlled reps. It's very, very impressive. She's
Yep.
very strong.
She's a very strong young woman.
Yeah, she is. More power to her.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like, she's just gonna have her entire career of breaking her own world records.
Pretty
it's gonna
much.
be awesome.
Yeah.
She's just in a league of her own.
Yeah, she is in a league of her own.
Boom.
Yeah.
Coined the movie.
It's true. Tom
Wow.
Hanks. There's no crying in baseball.
There
Or
is-
powerlifting.
Damn it, Kyle. All right. Well,
fast for you.
that's it for today. We're done. Creepy baby is creeping me out too much, and I'm gonna have nightmares. So,
Armen is
on
an
Elm
easy
Street?
scare.
yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Is that a good touch, bad touch, baby?
I sure hope not.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Baby looks like it's seen some things.
That's how it got here.
Go for it.
Just need to amp up the creepiness
Your
a little
Instagram.
Well, let me think. I'm Mr. Kyle Bogart on the best goddamn Instagram account on the internet.
bit. I am at Cliff Bogart on an Instagram account. I still haven't updated since last time.
Brutal.
Damn.
I'm at a Supersonic Man on Instagram and Twitter and everything else, and I'm the host of Hot Tag, available on iTunes.
I'm always wondering, one week Daniel's not going to mention he's the host of Hot Tag, and it's going to be awkward. I'm going to think like, man, did they like cancel
cancel
it
it?
or something?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to awkwardly bring it up. So
Nah, dude, we're going out to Survivor Series in Houston this weekend.
Nice.
Wow.
It's gonna be fucking crazy.
Nice.
Which is professional
Uh,
wrestling.
Professional wrestling. Yeah.
and you're all adults.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
And at one time, what?
You know it's fake, right?
Look, man, it's still real to me. Damn it.
Is John Cena going to be there? Hey, Daniel.
What's
Is
up?
John Cena at this event?
John Cena is at this event.
Ah.
That's sick. Can you get an autograph for me?
No, I can't.
Oh, fuck.
No.
I can try.
Chase, what about your Instagram account?
I'm Chase504 on all the things. You
Cool.
can find me there.
Congratulations. I'm at Armen Hoyce. Thanks so much, guys.
Dicks.
for
Armen just
listening.
decided to become a dick all of a sudden.
right.
Whoa, jeez.
We'll catch you next week. Later.
Yeah.